Well, let me go on and say this because I've never thought that I would ever say this again. I have been watching BET for 3 days. The last 3 days, I've been watching BET faithfully. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie? Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be my review. This is part 3 of the new edition story. BET has completely outdone themselves. Trust me when I tell you, I have been around with BET as long as BET's been around with BET. I remember when BET literally used to come on for about 2-3 hours in the middle of the night. It would pop on at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, stay until about 4, and then just go off. That was it. That was BET. They showed videos. There was 4 or 5 videos they showed. It's Raining Men, Cameo, Stephanie Mills, couple of things. I'm talking before there was Video Soul and all of that. I was around back then. I was a complete fan. I watched the building and the demise of BET. BET, this one project, if you keep on the way you're going, you can get back to something that is reputable, something that is for the people, something that the people will actually partake in. And I'm looking at these trailers for these new shows. Keep doing what you're doing. Do this. Spend some money on us. You spend some money on us and we'll spend some time on you. I'm telling you. This shit was off the hook. They did a fantastic job with New Edition. They did. This is by far the best biopic that I have seen thus far in or outside of the theater. The best one. I really, really enjoyed it. Now, this last part was actually my least favorite of the 3 pieces, but it fit. It all fit. It all worked. There were more musical performances in this because that was it. You know, once we got through the story, because we basically got through the story of New Edition by the 30 to 45 minutes of the last part of this segment. We were pretty much through the actual story, and then we just seen the placement of what it is that they're doing or not doing. And it's a sad state of affairs. It really, really is. Because I just kind of got the feeling I felt bad for them. It's like they did all. You've been around the world how many times? You have performed for so many different types of people, so many different situations, so many different time periods. And you have what going on now? Ain't nobody got shit going on. Business. Michael Bivins. Business. But ain't nobody really got shit going on. It was a sad state of affairs. This is the most they've had going on in years. Years. And they are icons. I mean, you can say what you want to say. New Edition, they're icons. You know what I mean? They are when from here, you know, the rest of life, when I'm gone, and people say boy band, boy group, their name will pop right up with the Temptations and the rest of them. They're icons. They're black icons. And to think that at some point I felt, as the movie was coming to an end, I felt a sadness. Like, damn, it's over. You know what I mean? And I remember feeling like that when the shit with the group was breaking all down. I actually seen that BET interview with Sherry Carter. That was a fucking train wreck. I watched it when it was actually going on. I watched it then. When they did the 1988 Pittsburgh concert, I was there. I was there, was at the Civic Arena, baby. The Civic Arena ain't even there no more. The Civic Arena's gone and all that. All I have is memories. That's all we got is memories. I actually still have my new edition book somewhere around here. My program. Remember they used to sell the program books for $20? I still got my book. Still got my book is somewhere down in my basement. Sure do. Sure do. But it's just sad. It was like I was like rolling through a period of my life like, damn, that shit is over. That's gone. That's gone. Gerald Busby, when they broke off, you know, they had that whole little situation. They broke off. Gerald Busby did his little whoop, 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 and end up dragging Johnny on over there to Motown. That didn't never really amount to shit. It didn't amount to shit. Johnny, the whole My thing and that album, the album was all that. But it didn't get the bang, and he didn't make the money that Gerald Busby promised him. Just like, you know, if he would have been staying with MCA, it didn't blow up like Bobby's career. You know, because you over there fucking around with Motown. He used Johnny to go and make big waves over there at Motown. And I believe it ended up screwing Johnny. I think Johnny would have did better if he'd have been over there with MCA. I've always believed that, and I still believe that. If he'd have been still with MCA as opposed to with Motown Records, that shit would have been bigger than what it was because it didn't even last. It didn't even last. And let me just say this about Johnny Gill. I told y'all, and I was being very honest with you, I didn't become an actual fan of New Edition until Johnny joined the group. And the funny part is I've never been like all that attracted to Johnny Gill. I like Johnny Gill because of his talent. He's not a bad looking guy, not at all. But he just wasn't, you know, he didn't knock me out. Well, baby, listen, let me tell y'all something. I ain't even gonna front and I ain't even gonna lie. That motherfucking Luke James is so goddamn fine. It just didn't make no goddamn sense. Fine. You understand me? Same thing with Ronnie. Like I said, when y'all watch Ronnie, you can't take your eyes off of Ronnie dancing. It was the same thing in the movie when you were watching. Your eye always went to Ronnie. But it wasn't because Ronnie, the guy who played Ronnie, danced so good. That motherfucker, he was a cute-ass little red bone. He's just cute as he can be, and he's so tall that the casting was perfect. You couldn't take your eye off him because one, he was taller than all of them, and he was cute as fuck. I said, child, good evening. But by far, Luke James, quit your playing. Quit your playing and go sit your ass down somewhere, little boy. Fine. Fine, black, fine. Yes, God. Anyway, and singing his motherfucking face off. Singing his face off. Do you hear me? That little my montage. Yes, God, honey. Anyway, y'all leave it in the comments. Hey, I done said enough. I said enough. I'm moving on. And as you all know, you know that I am a huge, huge Empire fan. And I always refer to Brashear as when he's playing Yaz and Hakeem. When he's over there being all of that during Empire, he irritates the fuck out of me and I can't stand his character. And I actually refer to him as the little boy with the big shoes. You are a very good actor. You are. When you're taken outside of the realm of Empire, I actually got to see you for your acting chops. And young man, you played the fuck out of Michael Bivins. You played the fuck out of Michael Bivins. And you danced your motherfucking ass off. Do you understand me? Because that if it isn't love shit, you danced your motherfucking ass off. Okay? That's not, Hakeem can't do that. Brashear, you did that, motherfucker. Yes, you did. Moving on. I was very surprised at the fact that Ricky got on drugs. I didn't know about that. I felt so bad. I was like, oh, not poor Ricky, you know? Was what was. Um, I remember the Welcome Home tour. I was there for that shit too. I was there for that. I remember when it was going on. I remember when it ended abruptly. It was some shit. It was some shit. That was like 2004. It was a mess. It was a mess. A mess, a mess, a mess. Um, I was glad that because I didn't know about Brooke. I didn't know what actually had happened to Brooke. I was so glad to see that Brooke actually made it through that heart attack and all that. That shit was crazy. That was like their eyes was being opened at that point. It was enough. The universe said, enough with you motherfuckers. That's all that was. The universe said, enough. Enough. Johnny went with LSG. They covered that shit. And then, like I said, from that point, it was all really just concert footage and footage of them being at the wedding and actually coming back together, and then them being at the BET Awards. And that's basically kind of where they left out. They left it out on a high note. And I was like, yeah, and it was. It left out on a high note. But again, it left me with a little sadness to know, like, that's it. That's the last time we actually seen them doing anything. And it just kind of seemed like it was all for fuck nothing. Like, because what do they have? What do they have? Other than the icon, they have an iconic presence, but poor things. I don't know. Sad. Sad state of affairs, but excellent movie. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I really enjoyed it. I would actually give it 5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was done fantastic. Casting, sets, costuming, everything. A dead on point. I enjoyed. The music was good. The shit was just good. BET, thumbs up to you all. Please continue in this vein, and I promise you, you'll gain your crowd back. I promise you, you'll shut Lifetime right out of doing biopics. Right out of doing biopics, and God knows somebody needs to do it. All right, so on that, thank you guys for hanging out with me for 3 days doing this review on this movie. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Leave it in the comments, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.